We're going to take a road trip today, and I'm going to stop at a couple of movie locations for Smokey and the Bandit. We're pond hopping. I know y'all know pond hopping, also where the door got knocked off of Buford T Justice's big Pontiac. And then the famous Kissing Bridge, also going across the mountain. I'll show you where some of the film location is for Black Dog, where they did the tractor and trailer trucks up the hill and down the hill and run off the bank and all that. And maybe some more stuff. But anyway, we're going to take the day off today, and hope you enjoy this. Black Dog was so big that this whole campground was full all the way down the Appalachian campground. This whole area, even up to where the campsites are at, if you can see them, was full with production crews. That's how big the production was when they come over here and shot what little bit they did on the Black Dog on the Unicoi Mountain. Of course, back then these little trees was a lot smaller. It's been a few years ago. But anyway, this is the Appalachian campground where they set base up when they were doing the movie Black Dog, crashing all the trucks. So we're going to head on up the mountain and see if we can find some locations on that, and then go on over and check out some Smokey and the Bandit. So when they left base camp from the beautiful wild, from the Appalachian campground, you can see right there, turn left this way. That goes to where I live at Hiawassee. That's Soapstone. That road right there goes to the highest mountain in the state of Georgia, Brasstown Ball. This is 1775, and so they'd head up this way going to work. Maybe we can find a couple of locations where they run the trucks off over the bluff and all that stuff with the car carrier. We're at the top of Unicoi Mountain, elevation 2,949 feet above sea level. This is actually where the Appalachian Trail crosses. You can see the Appalachian Trail sign right there. So this is the end. This is kind of where the end of the Appalachian Trail ends in the south. And that's actually, I'm going to show my wife right there a little bit, but that is the steps going up the Appalachian Trail. So if you're going to watch the Appalachian Trail, that's where you go. But we don't care nothing about the Appalachian Trail. So if y'all, we're gonna pull on out now. So if y'all watch the movie Black Dog, you'll see they do a scene chase up the mountain and then down back the other side. But actually what they do, they come to the top of this mountain and they film it coming up this mountain, and then they turn around and film it going back down. So if you can see the resemblance of some of the roads. This is where they're going back down the mountain. But if we're coming right around this hill right here, this is actually where they run the transfer truck over the mountain with all the cars. And I am pretty sure it's right in here. It's where they run it. Of course, the things have grown up, but anyway, this is where they run the truck over. But this is actually the road, bits and pieces of it now, where they've run, but they actually come up this side of the mountain, then they turn around and went back down the other side filming. But that's, back we growed up, it was just 2 lanes. This is the Unicoi Mountain where they filmed Black Dog, where they did the hill climb, hill chase, and all that kind of stuff. I know there's one spot right in here where they took, because this is the humps. You actually, if you're coming back up the mountain or down the mountain, go fast enough, you can come off the ground right here on this hump. or this hump here. If you see that, that's a fun hump. You have to go from the inside, but you see the hump there. But you can go airborne right here. But they actually filmed Black Dog going up and then back down. But you can see here some of the rocks. If you notice, of course it's changed over the year, but there's some of the rocks that you can see going by the truck windows and this, that, and the other. So now we're back on a 2-lane. All right, let's go on down a little further and we'll show you where Smokey and the Bandit, some of the Smokey and the Bandit, what it looked like now from what it was back then. I just wanted to show y'all while we was going over to pond hopping, all BURT Reynolds stuff. This is called Insurance Hole. Back growing up, people would push their cars off down in there and say somebody stole them. If you can see, still a bunch of old tires and stuff. You usually got down in there, you left them because it is so far off down in there. A lot of stories, but that's where they pushed them off. There's all kinds of stuff down in there. But anyway, we're on our way over. We're going down and check out all the BURT Reynolds stuff and whatever else we can come up with. All right, here's some more filming where they did the Black Dog. You can see some of the, of course it's changed over the years. There's always a 2-lane passing lane where they done that, but this is kind of where they come around with one of the curves. But TV magic, like you say, they film going up and then they film coming back down. That's where they broke out and done the passing and that kind of stuff. And then we go back into 2 lanes, but they just take little parts. It's pretty cool, but it was a big production. I remember when they were doing that, filming that. I think it was 97. I ain't gonna swear to it. And now we're at the famous horseshoe turn, horseshoe bend. This is where they finally widened it because a lot of transfer trucks was dropping their trailers off over into the creek. But now we're heading on into Helen, Georgia. And one of the things I remember, some of the stuff on Black Dog, just like the car that's the car trailer that they sent over that carried all the cars they sent over the mountain. Those cars were painted. It looked like they were painted with spray cans. They were no engines, no transmissions, no nothing in them. Most of the windows and everything was out of that. And the truck sat over after they got it out. Actually, a man over in Clarksville, that's not far from here, had the truck sitting at his shop forever. Truck trailer and all the cars, but they, like I said, he tore it all to pieces, but there wasn't anything in the windows or anything like that. But it was a big production. But we're going to head on down here a little bit further, and we should be coming into where BURT Reynolds, Smokey and the Bandit, and all that good stuff happened. A lot of movies also. Trouble with the Curve was shot in Towns County. And I'll try to get a couple of little snippets from that where they wrecked his 65 Mustang and all that. But this is the top of Airstream Park. This place is absolutely full in the summertime, but it's nothing but Airstream trailers. So let's ease on down. Now, in my opinion, this is the funnest curves on the whole mountain, especially if nobody's coming. But they just swing back, and if you could get these curves lined out in a racetrack, they are absolutely the funnest to go around. Of course, we're kind of going slow where I can hold this. But these curves right here are just one right after the other, back and forth, and everybody's got their favorite part on the Unicoi Mountain, but this is mine. I could drive back and forth on this all day long. But we're getting close down here where they did the Smoking the Bandit, where he slid sideways, went behind the store, and then we'll check out pond hopping too. It's right down here. But this is where I live at. The Chattahoochee River ain't big at all. It's actually a creek. Walk across the head of it up there, way down on the Chattahoochee. All right, now we're coming into where, closer on down here where BURT comes out from around the curve, and they got the road blocked. Here we go. Let me see if I can zoom in a little more. There it is right there. That is where he slid and went in behind and we're going to pull over there and walk around a little bit, see if we can get shot. It's going down the other end of it there a little bit. But you can tell what's happened over the years. It is absolutely dilapidated from what it was to what it is now. We'll jump out here and look at this. All right, we're here. You can see where BURT Reynolds comes sliding in here. Come out of down the road there, slid sideways, went in behind this building here, and then come all the way around and back out the other side. And spun off and went down the road. And the cops are sitting right here with the road blocked. And of course they put back then it didn't have the ramp up on it, it was just a porch. But that man was sitting at the porch and he looked at the sheriff and said, dang, we'll say dang, that boy sure can drive. And then they cranked their cars up and burn out and headed that way. But like I say, you can see the difference over the years, what's happened to this place. And the problem is this thing is in between. It's so far out of hell and it's not far enough. It's too far out for it to be really any business. And it seemed like it was a furniture store back years and years ago. But you got them a rock shop and all that. But you know, it's funny how at least the building's still here. A lot of the stuff with Smokey and the Bandit's gone. But you can see. And then spun out, headed that way. Next stop will be pond hopping. All right, Emily's pulling out and she's going to lay a drag and all that good stuff like BURT did. You going to lay a drag?
Want me to?
Yeah, I want you to burn the tires off this big. Woohoo!
That's right.
Anyway, he spun around this way. And that was the end of that scene. All right, we're coming around this curve. Now right here, we're coming up on where Buford T Justice got his door knocked off. So this is where Buford T Justice got his door knocked off. Anything behind us? No. Might slow down a little bit and just pull. We're going to slow down about right here. Right past this sign, he was sitting right here on the side of this road. About right here is where he got hit. So turn in that road right there. We'll look at this. We're going to turn in here and cause all kinds of trouble. That's the old fish house that used to rent to. They still rent it to do fish, but all right. Now, when they were filming this back when they did this, my mother and father come through, but his car was sitting, you see, about right there. And if you look behind, you can see that curve out through there, but his car was sitting just a little bit right in here where I'm at. And then the truck come through and knocked the door off the side of the car, which was actually after pond hopping. But now pond hopping is on down a little further than this. But that was back years ago. That was an old, it still is a VRBO. You can actually rent that house there, but it's just a little shack back in the day. But this is, if you can look and see, if you look behind Buford's car, if you pause it, you'll see that seam. That's exactly where Buford's car got. And this is an old road that goes back over to Hiawassee, where I live at, and comes out pretty close to where base camp was for Black Dog. But now it is a long, long way over there. If y'all look good, you might be able to see some fish in there. Good fishing in there. And my wife left me somewhere. Oh well. I guess we'll start walking.
Oh.
All right, here we go. We're pulling out. That's where they knocked the door off. You got that. Now, coming on down here. Now, they changed the road. I'm going to ride on around here. And back, used to, there was a little lady that lived. Now, the road used to go straight. Where we're going straight. We're going to pull on in here. This is where pond hopping happened. With the road, they straightened the road out. That's where they put all the passing lanes and all that in here. And this says no trespassing, but we don't even care. We're going to walk down here. Now, I can remember being a kid coming down. Let's just stop here and I don't get a nail. I can remember a kid coming down. Back when I was a kid, I could start that over. I can remember being a kid driving down, and you can see some of the old asphalt still here where the road was at. This is the old asphalt right here. So this is where they laid rubber. They come right on down. This is where pond hopping was at. But they actually had a lot of gravel. They dumped a lot of gravel over the side of the road. I can remember coming by and looking down in it when I was just a youngin'. Because this was what, 78, 79 or something like that when they filmed this. And I'm gonna go down here now that there ain't no trees or nothing, bees and all that good stuff. See if we can see if there's any resemblance. But this is where the old road would come. And this is where they did pond hopping. We'll come right on down through here. You can see we're getting closer. They actually, let's see if we can see anything. They built a road with gravel off the side of this thing. Going down a little further. To go straight over there on the other side, and then they built a road on the other side. Seems like it was right in here, but back then this was the road. This is the way we travel. I think right here is kind of where they built the pond hopping, and he went right across there. And then back up the other side, if you can see about right here is where he went back up on the other side. But if you notice this rock that's right here, if you pay attention to that in the movie, you see there's the rock. You can see it from the way they filmed, and they filmed from down that way. Let's go on down here a little further. It says no trespassing, but I've been kicked out of nicer places than this. The road went right back, right across where I'm looking here and back, and then back to the left. This is the old road bed here before they straightened it out. But now you can see it's really a pretty steep below hill, but they actually built a road off here, right back up there, I'm thinking, and they come back across and went up right there. You can see that. Right in that area right there is where they went back up. Let's see if we can go a little closer. Right in there is where they made another road going back up on that road. We'll swing on that other side over there. But they built a road all the way across with gravel, and it stayed there forever. So, and then they set the cameras up down here. So, let's see what else we can find. All right, we're pulling back out on the new road, but there's actually, right here was a lady lived right here. And if you notice, there's a driveway, but she had a house about right here where we're at, but they tore it all down and put the new road in. Anyway, there's pond hopping. We're gonna go the other side now and look from that way. So we're just right out of Helen, not very far out of Helen. And then we'll go to the world famous Kissing Bridge. If y'all see this road just parallels the other road. And we're almost up here where old Burt come out. Now, he hung around this area a lot. He was over at Dillard House and Dillard, Georgia, and all over. He was here not just for the movie, but he actually had a vacation home up here for years. I don't know exactly where it was at, but I've always heard people talk about it over at Dillard somewhere. But now we're on the other side of pond hopping. So let's just pull right up here and not right here. This is where you come across on the other side. So now we can see both sides. So I walk up here, you can kind of see kind of where he come off at. Now that's we're on the other side of where we were at. My wife's leaving me again. There's that rock, you see the rock. And you come across right here. Been a lot of good fish caught out of right in there. And that's been years. I'm gonna try to break my neck, but I'm getting old, I might break a hip. Oh. All right. We're down here at ground level. So he come across right here. And they built this up. That's pretty deep now, of course, it's been years. And he come right across, and then right up through here somewhere, they built a road and brought back up on that other side. So y'all can see. And then they set the cameras up down here for pond hopping. Let's see, going down here and see. Should have brought a fishing pole or some dynamite. I'm a little bit better fisherman when I got dynamite. Anyway, they set the camera up. That's about the best I can do now. Rained a lot. But this is kind of where you come off of that hill and then right back up over this way. So that's pond hopping. And they really built a pretty good road. All right, let's go on down to the famous Kissing Bridge. I can see kind of, I'm thinking right in here is where he come back up, and then this is just a little single lane road. It just goes down and dead ends down here. So this is where he come out at. Now I walked way over there, all the way to right here. My wife didn't want to block the road. There ain't nothing coming. I guess she figured I needed my exercise or something. Oh, here comes a car.
That water's beautiful.
All right, I got my exercise because my wife parked 2.5 miles away from where she dropped me off.
You beat too many Valentine's chocolates. You might want to
You want to block the road? When I got in the truck, finally somebody come by. All right, we're going to go over to the famous Kissing Bridge. All right, that was quick. Now we're back on 1775. And we're going to just go right down here. We're actually 2 miles out of Helen. We've been to Helen back. And we're going to take a left right here. towards Anna, Ruby Falls, or Unicoi State Park. Unicoi State Park, actually, that's where this famous Kissing Bridge was at. This is where Unicoi State Park's actually where BURT Reynolds stayed, him and Sally Fields and all of them, during the shooting of this part up in here. And there is a lady in Hiawassee that actually worked at Unicoi State Park back then. And she was, after they left, she was cleaning Sally Fields' room and found a ruby ring that belonged to Sally Fields, and she didn't know what to do with it. And so she has still got it. I've got a picture of it. If I can find it, I'll try to post it in here. But it's teeny little, I think it's ruby, little ruby ring. All right, now we're turning in here to there's your little round barrel houses. See, all the moonshine made in these mountains, that's what they used to store them in back years ago before they made cabins out of it. That is not true, y'all, at all. I'm trying to remember which lot number. I think it's 54, but I might be wrong. I don't remember what it was, where it's at. But we're gonna go on in here and see if we can dig it up. It's been a while since we've been in here. The famous Kissing Bridge. All right, we're at picnic area 4 and 5. We got to turn around when we get bent back around there. We're going to pull.
See if I turn around, I can go in the other way. How about that? Can I do that?
Just gouge.
I'm not going to gouge it. I'm going to just take it easy.
Go right down through there.
Think so?
Yeah. All right, now we're going to pull down here where the famous Kissing booth is at. Or Kissing. Famous Kissing Bridge. We'll get out here in a minute. I think y'all know that by now. Does that look romantic? Oh. All right, we're coming in from the back side of the famous Kissing Bridge. And that's where BURT, Sally Fields, take my hat off for one thing and one thing only. We're gonna go up here. We're walking up now. Now Tim Phillips with the walking right up here. He actually pulled his car in sitting right here. So this is pretty much where the car was sitting where I'm at now. It's kind of washed out. But you could actually pull down this way if you see. But anyway, pull the car down this to here. And you can see the trees are grown from what it was. And then they got out and walked down and walked out on there, and then that's where they had the famous kiss. But now the bridge has changed. It's not the same as what it was. It was just kind of a flat bridge, but all things. I really think that the bridge was higher back in the day. I think it come across where that's at, and they dug it down and put this bridge on it. My wife's taking a selfie with Logan. And there they are. Famous Kissing Bridge. Y'all didn't see that. But anyway, from the bridge, that would be where the car was set at. And this is, I think this is about where it's at. They were standing about right here doing the filming. You got all these people writing their names on here. But that was it. What do you think? That'll be the other side. You can actually come down this way and park now. They got a pavilion over there, 4 and 5, Unicoi State Park. And it's pretty easy to see. So, well, I think that about does it on the Smokey and the Bandit. Come here. One thing y'all do need to know is, the reason I say BURT Reynolds was around here quite a bit. Deliverance was shot over in Unicoi, which is just, I mean, over in Clayton, which is just right the next county over from where we're at now. There's Logan. And so that was back early 70s. And he was up here quite regularly. He was always up. I remember being a kid, clogging was a big thing. And they had a big deal for BURT back in the mid 70s. We went over and actually clogged for him. Of course, I was little and didn't have a clue who he was back then. But anyway, this famous Kissing Bridge, my wife said she's not going to kiss me on. Best I'm going to get on video. Anyway, we're going to keep on going. Just thought we'd share that with you while we was out loafing around. My wife wanted to go get some coffee at, what is that called? Jumping Goat Coffee, and then she's going to get cheese. That's part of the thing. She said, I'll drive for you, but I got to get some cheese and Jumping Goat Coffee, and
that's it.
That's it. That's a pretty good trade.